Hey, what is up, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. Hope you guys are all having a great day. Just a couple days ago marked the 700th day of the Air Force's mysterious X-37B space plane. And maybe you guys have heard me talk about this in the past, seeing as this thing has been up there for years now. But if you don't know, or you're new to the channel, the military, specifically the Air Force, has for the past 700 days, and more than that in fact, had a secret space mission involving this plane here, as it's called, or what looks like a miniature unmanned shuttle that has been up in space, orbiting our planet. The mission to which, and what this thing is actually doing up in space, is so secret and classified that after all of this time that this thing has been up there, we still have not gotten one single answer or one step closer to figuring out why this thing is so secret and what the military is doing with it and why it's up there. So the X-37B is unmanned, at least that's what the military has told us. There's no one on it. But it is considered one of the most mysterious but advanced spacecraft ever operated. And there have been many theories as to what this thing is, what the mysterious cargo is that it's carrying, what it's doing up there in space, and those have ranged from the fact that it could be used as a secret spy satellite or to deliver weapons to space. But other theories have gone much further outside of the box, with some relating it to a secretive space program operated by a shadow government, and even further, that this mysterious plane was actually sent up into space to track and to monitor something that was discovered up there that has nothing to do with this planet and was not put up there by us. But we'll get more to that here in a second. So what few people know is that the X-37 began as a NASA project in 1999, but was later transferred and taken over by the US Department of Defense in 2004. And although it just reached 700 days in space, it's actually been in space for another almost 700 days, and this was back in 2012 to 2014, where it stayed for approximately 674 days, before once again relaunching it in 2015. And as mysterious as the plane itself and the mission that it carries, what's said to be the most secretive part of this mission is not so much the plane itself, but the payload inside of it. So it's said that this thing stays relatively close to our planet, at a distance kind of near where the International Space Station is. In what was deemed to basically be a cover story, last year, under immense growing pressure from the public, the military felt the need to at least drop a small hint as to what this thing was doing. And so the Department of Defense sent out a spokesman by the name of Captain Chris Hollier, who stated, quote, "We are investigating an experimental propulsion system on the X-37B mission." A revelation that many of us scoffed at and thought to ourselves, why would you need to spend over 5 years in space to test a propulsion system? And why the secrecy? Why couldn't you have told us that in the beginning? And so, it's been whispered throughout the years that this enigmatic space plane was really put in space to track an alien object, with many going as far as to say that it was tracking the Black Knight satellite, which is something you've heard us talk about many times before, and is said to be a satellite of an alien nature that was discovered to be orbiting our planet and that it had been here for quite some time. And so the theory is that the X-37B was sent up to find the satellite and track it. And when I say find, well, that's because when they originally detected this mysterious alien satellite, they discovered that it would change position and speed and direction before finally losing it altogether back in the 1950s. We've all seen the photographs that have hit the web over the years, purporting to possibly show the mysterious Black Knight satellite, as it's called. The most famous, of course, is this one here. This one has been shown to death, and it was taken during a more recent shuttle mission, and was later claimed by NASA to be nothing more than a space blanket, once again under the many cries of cover-up. But we've also had other photographs come out, and we've even found instances where NASA, in the early days of the space program, before they had things like Photoshop, would go to extreme measures to hide what they had captured in some of their photographs. Here you're seeing a set of images from the Apollo 7 mission, which was the very first mission to carry a live crew into space. And while they were up there, they were snapping photographs. And in one particular photo, as you're seeing here, was what seemed to be a very blatant attempt to obfuscate something that was captured outside of that spacecraft window. And so it was strange to many that this photograph, and not only this photograph, but another in the sequence, was also covered up with a large piece of tape. And so this fueled the conspiracy flame. But that's not the only time that we've seen NASA use this method to hide things. Far from it, in fact, because as before, when they were busy trying to hide things around Earth, it was also found out in later missions that they also wanted to hide some things captured above the moon. Here you're seeing the first of two images. This is from the Apollo 17 mission. And after some analysis, we can see something, some sort of anomalous object or objects sitting up in the darkness of space. And as we go to the very next image in sequence, we see yet again, not one, but multiple pieces of tape placed over and on top of the photograph in what looks like a blatant attempt to hide something. And as we increase the contrast here, we can see something that appears to be glowing beyond the horizon and, unfortunately, behind this piece of tape. Another very interesting and purported snapshot of the Black Knight satellite comes from the Apollo 10 mission. As they were on their way to the moon, one of the astronauts aimed his camera back at our beautiful planet to snap a picture. And as was discovered, again, years later, we have many anomalous things happening here. And some of these spots you're seeing here in this photograph are actually stars. This is one of the few times where they weren't directly above the moon or directly above the Earth to where the exposure setting needed to compensate. So we're picking up some stars here, but we're also picking up something else. And as we zoom in here, closer to the Earth, we begin to see a structure poking out of the darkness of space that has been said by many to be the mysterious Black Knight satellite, making its way around the Earth in a very far-out elliptical orbit. Also discovered in this photograph was this mysterious glowing object here, which, as you can see, looks to be in the shape of a triangular winged craft of some sort. This isn't the first time we have seen these mysterious triangular craft near the Earth. So could this be this secret classified mission that the X-37 has been tasked with? And while we're talking about the Black Knight satellite, just a year or two ago, a rival space company by the name of United Launch Alliance, or ULA, had its own very mysterious mission of sorts when it launched a rocket into space with a classified payload and what some have said was a spy satellite. But what was even more mysterious than that was the logo for the mission. That you're seeing here, and as you can tell, it's understandable that many people thought that this mission also had something to do with the Black Knight satellite. And this is a very interesting logo here. We have the American flag in the background, we have a Black Knight standing here, and on the shirt of the knight, we have an eagle, which was said by the space agency to represent freedom. And so was that the mission of this launch and the launch of the X-37B, to get back or grant us once again freedom from this mysterious alien satellite? We can't know for sure due to the classified nature of these missions. However, I did feel it necessary to comment on this mission and post a video marking its 700th day in space and 700 days more that we have been kept in the dark. So with that, let me know what you guys think. I would love to be a fly on the wall inside that spacecraft, let me tell you. But hopefully we'll get some answers one day soon, so be sure to stick around with the channel, subscribe, and turn on notifications. If you have your own story or piece of UFO footage you'd like me to feature, don't hesitate to email me. My contact info is down in the video description. Alright, so thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all back in just a bit. Stay safe, guys.